Hello Yu-Gi-Oh fans, Matt Durant here and welcome to a special episode on my results of regionals. So I was playing Shadal Starter F and I was playing at the Leeds regionals at Patriot Games. So yeah, let's go straight into this. It's also a bit of a how-to thing at the beginning and end thing, but hope you enjoy this. First thing I want to say is what you need for regionals, which is a tournament legal deck, so you can't have any things that are banned or limited to one that are over the limit. And you have to have the correct deck list for the event. And you have to, and when I say tournament legal, not promos aren't tournament legal because they have to be reprinted. I think there was an issue with a Hot Red Dragon Art Fiend someone were playing, and that wasn't really tournament legal, so therefore there's problems there. And the deck list, I'll leave a link in the description for the deck list that Konami gives. It has a bug. It does have a bug, I think, on one of the boxes, so be careful. Bear that in mind when you use it. But that might just be my computer. Second thing you need is Konami ID. If you do not own a Konami ID, they will give you one at the event. So when you go to pay your entry cost and participate in the actual event, you'll get one then, so don't worry about that. Also, another thing that I didn't put down here, it's also good to pre-register for events like this, usually on Facebook or calling up and asking about that, because some of them do have a certain limit of people that can actually come to the event, so you don't want to miss your place. So it's always good to have a little bit of pre-registering beforehand. Next thing is entry cost. It was 12 quid at Leeds Regionals. It differs from country and place, so it's always good to check this information out before you go to the event, not just go on the day and see what happens. You don't want to go there and find out you don't have the right money. Paper and pen, because apps are not allowed in the actual event. I think calculators are allowed, but actual Yu-Gi-Oh apps like the calculator, they're not. They could be probably manipulated. So paper and pen you can always see, and it just works better that way. And anything else that you need to duel with, counters, tokens, mats, whatever you need to protect your thing or utilize in the actual duel, please that would be the best thing to bring along as well. Yeah, I think that's it for what you need. I got there quite early and got all this sorted out. So yeah, my first matchup was Necros. What a surprise! But yeah, Necros was very surprised. I didn't think I'd go against Necros straight on the barrel, but yeah, it was a very good duel. I lost the first round, first duel against it, even. Can't talk now. I think he trishulated me in that first round. I wasn't able to get my plays off. I think I had a really bad hand at that starting point, and when you start with a bad hand against the opponent with Necros, it's going to be more or less dead. But yeah, that's how it goes. Duel 2 was better for me because I won that one. The MVP I've got down here, which is Secret Village of the Spellcasters. This proved to be crucial for me because I was able to get this out turn 1, and I was able to get it out, and the only response my opponent had was to Brio into a Dance Princess. When he summoned the Dance Princess, I book a Moon in, and he could not respond to anything else. I was able to get rid of my hand as well on the next turn, bringing out a second Secret Village to destroy my first, and then just show I have no hand, so he can't trishula me if he does get out of it. And I believe my monster I was beating him down with Shadol Beast. But yeah, I destroyed his Dance Princess, and I believe he had no other outs to this because usually Necros only run like one Dance Princess if they even run it anymore. So yeah, because of Vanity going limited, they don't really need to do that much there. So yeah, he scooped for that game, and Duel 3 was one of the closest games I had all throughout the day, because we were both using both. Sorry about that. We were both using all of our materials, and we were just going head in. Got several, I think 1 or 2 constructs, and I believe a Shekiniga, probably a Winder. I believe he also traditionally in this duel as well, but I was able to recover from that. He used up more or less all of his ritual monsters, and it was down to me having, what was it, Mathematician on the field, and my opponent had Manju of the 10,000 hands. I drew into Regikai. I believed I could have. I believe he was going to ritual summon next turn because he had. I knew he had another Manju in his hand. I was able to Mind Crush earlier and get rid of his Trishula, take him out of the Jinlock, which appeared in this duel. He Jinlocked with Necros of Bryonic. I was able to overcome that quite easily. I believe with Shadow Dragon to bounce it back. And then this is where I misplayed more or less. I went too passive and I just set my Regikai. I attacked into Manju and he was able to send a Valkyries from his hand. That was his last ritual. I was not aware. He was able to draw and summon his other Manju and overlay the Heartland Draco, which was having the game. I had 1900 life points left and it was really close. No, 1300 life points left. And it was really close. If I had gone a bit more aggressive, he said he probably would have scooped. So that was a very good game, and it was just so surprising. I was unable to get the secret village out during the third game, but that's how it goes. So yeah, it was 2-1 to my opponent, and I was going in X-0. On to Duel 2 was against Shadows. It was more or less a mirror match. It wasn't Star Seraph Shadows, so that actually gave me the edge in this. Duel 1, we were both using a lot of ammo, using construct after construct, and the Shekinigas came out in that duel. No winders at all, just constructs and Shekinigas were beating each other down, and it was just very close match. It was very hard to overcome, but eventually I was able to get 2 constructs out, and he was really struggling at that point and attack the game. So more or less, I think he scooped, but most people scoop now. But then, yeah, onto Duel 2. I bricked. I had nothing, no fusion monsters at all. I was not able to fuse at all with my hand. I was just defending. I had to even compel suddenly Blackluster Soldier back to his hand because I had no way of defending. I think we both drew into Blackluster Soldier, and his wasn't a dud first, but secondly it was when it was returned, it became a dud. Whereas my one was dud from the start. So yeah, I was unable to get past him, and he just beat me down of the game. Duel 3, I believe he bricked it this time. The best play he could have gone for was with Shadow Fusion, and I vanitied it. So I negated it, and that was basically it. He didn't have a good starting off plan, and I believe I got a Blackluster Soldier out of this game. Yeah, probably. So yeah, he was in the Duel 2. He completely locked down all my trap lineup, so I couldn't have stalled for all that because he had Raw Decree, which he sired in. So yeah, I was kind of stuck, but Duel 3 I made it up, and since we both bricked, it was an even match because of the Duel 1. So yeah, I won that with 2-1, and on to Duel 3, I was also against Shadows. very, very much this. You may notice Sephion is the MVP. It's not from my deck because my deck didn't have an MVP. It was 2-0 to him. Both games he beat me down with Sephion, the Ultimate Time Lord. I didn't expect this at all. He was able to summon it and then resurrect his own construct, negating its effect and becoming a 4,000 meter. I'm unable to get past 4,000 meters at all. Unless I get my Star Seraph combo out, which can destroy his monsters, or bring out a construct next turn. If he could bring out a 4,000 meter and then take me down enough and take down my monsters, I'm just completely out of the game. He didn't lose a single life point in this, and I was just getting beaten down for 4,000 every time. So Sephion, those lucky pulls, that lucky tech completely crushed me. That's why it's the MVP. I had no MVP for this. So yeah, I was at 1 1 win, 2 losses at this point, because he won 2-0. Duel 4 was one of the worst duels for me. On one level it was a great duel. One level it was one of my worst mistakes. So duel 1, it was decent enough. I wasn't able to really do much. He was able to bounce stuff back with Camo 1, and he locked down my spells with anti-spell fragrance, which he had for turn 1. Coincidentally, his opponent, the person sitting next to him, also had anti-spell fragrance at the same time. So yeah, I was kind of screwed, and he was able to just destroy me with Sanju's. Duel 2, which was a really fast one for me. I believe I got hit quite badly by what I could see from my scribblings for actual results for the event, but I was able to OTK him, which I was completely surprised at myself, with Blackluster Soldier, El Shaddai Construct, and Evil Swarm Ouroboros. I OTK'd for 8,000 life point, 8,000 damage. I believe it's over 8,000. Yeah, it's over 8,000, and I just wiped him out. In that, he went from 8,000 to 0. Duel 3 was the closest of the ones, because he was able to macrocosmos me, and I couldn't. It really was ruining all my supplies in that sense. And then I made the biggest mistake out of the whole day. I thought my opponent was on 1,500 life points. He was actually on 2,500 life points, and I marked it down wrong. So I thought attacking with Winder for game would have got it, but it only took him down to 300. I should have summoned my Shadow Dragon and then attack for game, which would have got it down to 0. But giving him that advantage to survive, he was able to attack, recover, and strike down my monsters, and that was game. I was completely crushed. I was really salty at that point, because that misplay really just took down my confidence. So as a piece of advice, even though you're going to be losing in this duels, because so much strong meta will be around, don't lose heart, because it can all turn around. Because even if you go down to those lower points at about round 4, I was at 1 and 3 losses, so I was kind of screwed there. But that's when it will change, because down the bottom you'll have more rogue decks. You won't have much meta. Well, most of the time you won't have much meta. I still saw Necros at that point. Well, Necros for other people, not for me. I only had to go against one Necros, so thankful, quite diverse actually. Well, 4 decks, but that's it. But yeah, don't lose heart. You'll still have a better matchups for your rest of the games. Duel 5 was actually against Heroes. I didn't have much time to play with, because I was able to overwhelm him quite fast. I didn't lose that much life points. Lowest he got me down was 6,100, and I was able to win both times. That's why there's a question mark next to my MVP. I can't remember the MVP from the deck. I think the best card he brought out was Blazeman, but I completely stopped it with Mind Crush and stuff like that. So yeah, kind of screwed him there. Round 6 was against Heroes. What a surprise! He fared a bit better this time. This opponent gave me down to 5,000 at one point, but still I can't remember much from the actual duel. I think he may have got an acid out. That's it. So he didn't get much, and acid's not really that big a deal for me, because I got chainable back row. Thank God. But yeah. So Shadow Mist, I think, was his best card he brought out. Because I'm not sure if he brought acid or not. I think someone did, but I don't remember when. And the final match was round 7 with Cliff Forts. There wasn't many Cliff Forts or Burning Abyss or Fire Fist. I think only one person was running Fire Fist, which was my friend Adam, which I saw quite a few times a day. I kept sitting next to the same people, more or less. It was just so funny. But yeah, this was my favourite duel out of all of them. My opponent was a really nice person, and it was just so fun to duel against him. Duel 1 went quite well for me. He started out with Summoner's Art, which had Clifford Monolith, and it dawned on me, why would you add a Clifford Monolith when you had the chance to get out Clifford Scout? So I Mind Crushed for Clifford Scout, and I was successful. I crushed this Clifford Scout. He was able to Pendulum Summon still, but I was able to wipe it out with Shadow Dragon, and then he couldn't recover, so that was game, more or less. Duel 2. He was able to bring out pendulum after pendulum. He was able to set his scales every time I destroyed them, so he overwhelmed me very, very fast and crushed me then. Not much life points were lost by either of us on the duels we were winning, but on the duels we were losing, he just completely crushed us. And duel 3 was the funniest out of all duels. I started out with, I believe, Shadow. I think it was summoned Shadow Dragon, and I played Secret Village of the Spellcasters. This card was MVP in this duel because my opponent had more or less all spell cards, and I had more or less all trap cards. I was able to beat him down with what he had. I thought he had a skill drain face down, but it was actually Upstart Goblin. He had sided in Necro Valley as well because I'm very much graveyard reliant. So that was decent tech for him, but he had more or less all spells. He wasn't able to set his pendulum scale because he didn't have enough monsters to actually bring out, and he couldn't actually play spells until he brought out a spellcaster, and Cliffords don't run a spellcaster, so he was probably hoping to get something, beat me down with actual Clifford monsters themselves, which he had to keep summoning out, and I kept bouncing them back because I thought his face down was skill drain. But luckily I was able to overcome that with Shadow Beast, which I brought out a bit later, and tagging for game, which was so lucky. Secret Village of the Spellcasters definitely proved to be one of my favourite cards to win with, and yeah, definitely my MVP. So just to round up the results for that, I lost to my opponent 2-1. I won 2-1. I lost 2-0. I lost 2-1. And I won 2-0. Won 2-0, and then won 2-1. And so overall, I got 4-3 winning. I came 44th place out of 110 plus, which is decent enough for my first event ever, in that sense. Well, first regionals event. So yeah. I'll just go over my side deck that I used. I was using one Flying Sea. I didn't get a chance to use it because I didn't go against Tellers. One Purple Cerberus. I did side that in once or twice, but I never got a chance to use it. One Thunder King Rayo. I believe I summoned it once, but it got Dark Hold, so it didn't really have an effect. 2 MSTs, I sided them in a few times, but they never came out. 2 Secret Village of the Spellcasters, which you can see here. That was my MVP card. I adored using that. It won me 2 of my games, so I'm so happy I had that. 2 Fury Wind, never had a chance to use it except on my cleaves, but I never won. I won against them, but I never was able to use it. Imperial Iron Wall couldn't use because I never went against Ritual Beasts. 2 Trap Wall Nightmares. I believe I used one of them once. I believe in Necros, I think I used it, or I at least put it down on the field. I also had it as a card to use against Shadows. 1 Crush Card Virus. I signed it in for Cleaves, but I didn't have an actual problem using it. I never had a chance to use it. And 1 Mistake. I never drew into it. I would have wanted to run more mistakes. That's why I'm running a Thunder King, but I didn't have access to them at the time. So yeah, just a brief overview. You will be facing a lot of meta, so always prepare for meta, but also have some sides that might be fun. If you're gonna use a deck, either use something you really loved using, or something you have real faith in that's going to prove to be successful. No one's going to be able to be winning overnight. You saw that at YCS, I think it was Bochum or something like that, or Bochum. The Mecha Phantom Beast player got into the top 32, and he'd been playing with that deck for a year and a half. So practice always makes perfect. You always need experience in these kind of events, just to know, and always know the climate of what you're using, what you're going against. So currently it was Necros, Burning Abyss, Shaddolls, Hellas. I think missing one more. I think that's it. And Cleese, I believe, was still alright in there. I believe the person who topped at the actual event was a Duelist. So yeah, it was a fun day. It was very much. I saw a few of my friends there and got some trades. Got another Deltaros for my deck. So yeah, I was very much happy with what happened, and I hope when you play at your regionals, you have fun. So yeah, please like and subscribe if you did enjoy this video. Please comment below if there's something you would want me to change in the future if I do a video like this later. And I'll be hopefully having some more actual dual videos up. I've just had problems with exams and stuff. Preparation. So yeah. So thank you for watching, and Matarant signing out.